hip hop, there are many artists who make hits and artists that make statements. But once in a generation, someone comes along who does both without compromising the mission. This is Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth was born and raised in Compton, California, one of the most historically significant cities in hip hop, a place shaped by gang culture, systemic neglect, police brutality, and generational poverty. But it is also a city of resilience, pride, and of culture. Kendrick is a product of all that, not just the pain, but the poetry and struggle. Where some saw a dead end, he saw a beginning. Kendrick's music has never just been about rhyming words over beats. From Section 80 to GNX, Kendrick has carried the torch of conscious rap, not just as a gimmick, but as a responsibility. Kendrick once said, 40 acres and a meal, this is bigger than the music. This line was actually referencing the broken promise of reparations to formerly enslaved African Americans, a history most artists avoid, especially black artists, believe it or not. But Kendrick confronts this head on. Because to Kendrick, hip hop isn't just entertainment, it's to educate and resist, and it's a tool for elevation for a lot of black people. And he lives it, donating to a lot of schools in Compton, supporting community organizations, organizing toy drives, and using his platform to uplift the city that raised him, Compton. But in this story, every hero always has a foil, someone who reflects a different path, a different philosophy. Enter Drake. Where Kendrick's music is rooted in the soil of Black American history, Drake's music is polished for global appeal. He's not necessarily African American. Yes, he is black, but born in Toronto, raised by his Jewish mother in a suburban Canada, the African American experience is not something that was his foundation. Drake didn't grow up in Compton. He didn't feel the weight of that history. His music definitely doesn't carry it. He represents something entirely, what I like to call the popification of hip hop. Catchy hooks, vague emotions, a vibe, a product. Where Kendrick uses his lyrics to push the culture forward, Drake often flattens it for mass consumption, creating songs for streaming numbers, getting the highest charts, not necessarily systemic change. His music doesn't challenge, it charms, it doesn't necessarily fight, it flows. And while Kendrick is investing in his hometown, lifting his community, raising awareness, where exactly is Drake playing when it comes to helping Toronto? There are stories from before that he used to do certain things, but hindsight, what has he actually done for the city of Toronto? What people has he raised up to be better? Kendrick has so many people that he's helped out, so many artists, so many new stars that have been put on, so many communities that have been put on because of his amazing work to his own city and to his people. But yet, we can see that Drake hasn't done much for the city of Toronto. At the end of the day, to me, Drake and Kendrick represent two roads in hip hop. One path that stays rooted in the struggle, talking about the real message, using the mic as a weapon, tool, and a lifeline for many black people to raise them up to better people. The other, more of a path of comfort, commercialization. There's not much soul in a lot of the music. And to me, that's what makes Drake a perfect foil to Kendrick. Not because he's less talented, but because he stands for something entirely different. So in the end, it's not just about the music, it's about the music. And to me, I believe that most artists should follow the path of Kendrick Lamar. Music should uplift, music should inspire, and music should give people a reason, whatever that means to you,